What I wanted to address was, the other day, I was visiting and I was sleeping in the same room with someone that was snoring, okay? So I put my little, wax in my ear and nothing much happened. I just lay there and pondered and thought, well, when am I going to go to sleep? And then it got light and I was still wondering. But all of a sudden, I became aware that I wanted to get up. And so I got up and I was fully recharged and energized. And I wonder, where did that come from? When at other times, I may be so tired, having done nothing, and wanting to go to sleep. You see, I don't understand that rhythm.
You learn your rhythms from your physical format, and you come to expect things that are not necessarily what you must expect. And by that we mean, you do not need to sleep in order to refresh. Sleep is more about the releasing of resistance than anything else. Oh. Sleep is more about the distraction from the physical format and a sort of vibrational reprieve for a period of time so that there can be a complete re-energizing of that which you are. Mm-hmm. But the thing that makes you not know that, not you, but you not know that, is that so often in your first moments of reawakening, you scramble to recall your place in this time-space reality. It's an interesting thing to watch you as you reclaim who you are and you remember, oh yeah, I'm fat, I'm poor, I'm on my way to a job I don't want to do. We enjoy watching Jerry and Esther awake because what's going through Esther's mind these days is, where am I?
Right.
Because wherever they are, her bedroom looks pretty much the same on the monster bus, and it could be parked in a lot of different places. And a game that she plays often as she's going to sleep is she pretends that she's in the monster bus parked at the office in Texas, and she pretends that Elsie, lovable cat, is right outside the door, and she pretends that the water gardens are right over there, and she lies in her bus bed finding the relationship of all of these things around her, and then very often when she awakens the next morning, she cannot really recall where she really is for just a little while. And then there is something that is a natural thing that makes her want to recall where she really is. In other words, Jerry and Esther remember the day they found Lovable Cat in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And Lovable Cat was a little cat roaming around the campground, and Jerry took a liking to this cat, which was very unusual. They had said no cats or dogs would be in their life because they travel so much. But this little cat sort of insisted on worming her way into his experience. And so the park owner brought the cat to them later that night and said, we want you to take this cat with you. And Esther said, oh, that's a very long story. I signed a prenuptial agreement that says I would not ever bring a cat home, but we will let you know in the morning. And so Esther said to Jerry, if the little cat is waiting for us in the morning outside our door, then we will take it as a sign and we will take her with us. But if she's nowhere around, we'll just let it go. And Jerry said, all right, really believing that the cat would be gone. And the next morning they awakened even before daylight, and Esther is under her breath saying, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And Jerry is saying, no, 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 that's not fair. And so they had their breakfast, and Jerry pulled in his hoses and pulled in all of his electric cords, and Esther brought the feed, started the big engine, and when the engine turned over, off from the distance in the tall grass comes this little cat bouncing through the grass. And she came right to the door of the motor coach, and Jerry opened the door and said, well, little cat, I guess you're going to Texas, and she came right in. Now, here is the point of this story. So she got into the motor coach in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and then drove for a day with Jerry and Esther. She spent her entire time under the gas pedal of the motor coach. That's where she was most comfortable, was right under Esther's feet. And Esther used the cruise control and barely pushed on the brakes all day to keep from making the cat feel any discomfort. But it was an interesting thing when they arrived in Texas and Jerry started to open the door. And he said, what an interesting experience this is going to be for this cat. Because the surroundings inside here look just the same as when she came in. But the surroundings out there are quite different when she goes out. What we're getting at here is that as you, Elsie even, all of you, scramble to maintain your continuity. In other words, you're very hard-pressed to release any part of who you are. In fact, you practice the beating of that drum. I was born in the year of such and such, of the parents of such and such, and I lived here, and I lived here, and I lived here, as you continually try to explain who you now are by the paths that you have walked. There is this tenacious expressing, almost shouting to the boundaries of the universe, is, this is who I be. And we are encouraging you to do a little less shouting of this is who I be, and allowing yourself to be this joyful becomer of what you have been asking to be. The value of slumber is to give you that sort of blank slate where when you are reborn in the morning of your waking, you could, if you wanted to, make a new statement unto the universe of who you are, and everything would respond to you in keeping with that new vibration. And that really is always been what that slumber time is about. It's a refreshing of your energy. You don't need to rest your bodies. Your bodies are resting as you're sitting here in these chairs, you see. And you discovered that night you did not need to rest your body. Your body was resting. But through the whatever train of thought that you discovered, you obviously were not pushing against the snorer, or maybe you were caught up in the rhythm of the snoring. In other words, the one who snores is really giving themselves benefit. That's a real vibrational treat. That's why lions purr. That's why cats purr. In other words, if you could think of the one in the room snoring as purring, and relax into the rhythm of the purring and try to purr along with them just a little bit, you see, there can be very many vibrational beneficial qualities to such a thing.
Yeah, I have one more observation to make about myself vis-a-vis my life. And that is, I've always wanted to be a free spirit. If somebody asked me, who are you? I said, well, I'm not quite there, but I want to be a free spirit. And somebody in the back shouted, well, claim it. You know, you are if you think you are.
You are saying, I'm a free spirit, I'm not quite there. I'm a free spirit, I'm not quite there. I'm a free spirit. And what you're describing there is sort of what we were talking about. I'm a free spirit, oh yeah, I remember who I am. I was born in the year of... When you go to sleep, you can go to sleep as whoever you are and relax and release anything that you are not wanting, with the expectation that when you awaken, you are renewed. And it is always true. The question is, what aspects are you renewing? I'm renewing my rheumatism, I'm renewing my arthritis, I'm renewing my... And we say, you're actually renewing whatever you're giving your attention to. Just try it for a little while. Go to sleep with the idea of releasing resistance and awaken, and let the first conscious words that roll through your mind is, I am renewed, I am anew. I am like the newborn, but I have continuity.
I have found myself even saying, I'm going to get an extension, you know, and everybody was laughing about it. Let's say vis-a-vis lifespan, you know,
Yes.
as it is. And I said, I want to experience and I want to have such a good time as long as possible.
Well, as long as you feel that way, you will continue to be renewed. In other words, there is no reason for physical decline. Physical decline is about mounting resistance. And as you are consciously releasing resistance and not allowing it to mount, then you can remain physically focused. The recipe for a long, joyful life experience is many things to think about with little resistance. If you think about many things with resistance, that not only shortens your experience, but it dims the quality of your moment by moment, you see. And so it is really about pacing yourself by expecting more and allowing it, expecting more and allowing it, expecting more and allowing it. We think you all make too much of age and too much of time. If we were standing in your physical experience, we would use our calendars and clocks only for the purpose of rendezvousing, and we would not use them for the purpose of measuring progress ever about anything. If someone says, how old are you? We would say, how old do you want me to be? If someone says, how many years have you lived? We would say, all of them. If someone says, no, I really need to know, how old are you? We would say, it is not anything that is significant to me. Why is it so significant to you?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I have many more questions, but they are mundane. Okay, thank you so much.
Nothing mundane about you. Yes. Back row.